Good morning, Nova Nation. It's WXVU Sports Director David Szczepanski, and I am once again outside here of the law school with the path here. You can see the trees behind me. Pretty windy here. I'm filming this on Friday afternoon, but really great weather we've had recently here at Villanova. Just got done filming my Villanova football preview of the week, so previewing Villanova versus Hampton, talking about some key players, how both teams are coming into this game. So it's now time to talk about my keys to the game for a Villanova victory, and as always, I have three of them for a Cats victory. And for Villanova, I'm first going to give you my keys to the game, and then I'll talk a little bit about a score prediction, because I think this game is going to be very close, even though Villanova, I think, will be favored by a decent amount of points to win this game over Hampton. Villanova coming into this game ranked 13th in both of the major FCS polls, so 13th in the Stats Perform as well as the AFCA poll. My first key to a victory for Villanova this weekend, this Saturday against Hampton, is defense. And you know, this Hampton offense, I talked about in my preview video, they are very high-powered. I mean, this is a team, that will really excel in scoring points. They're averaging around 35 points per game this season. They have two quarterbacks that will get into the game and play, a decent amount of snaps. They both can throw the ball pretty well, right? Malcolm Mays has 9 touchdowns this season. Chris Zellis has 2 touchdowns. But this Hampton team will also run the football at a high level. They have 23 rushing touchdowns. And Villanova, I mean, the way that they shut down this New Hampshire offense last week, they allowed just 6 points on 2 field goals. Shane Hartzell had a career high 20 tackles in the game. Yes, 20 tackles. He won the CAA Defensive Player of the Week as well as FCS National Defensive Player of the Week. So this Villanova defense, they come in off a very nice performance against New Hampshire after struggling a little bit against Maine and Stony Brook. So I think this defense will be ready, but this Hampton offense provides a lot of different weapons. Like I said, in the rushing game, they have 3 or 4 different running backs who can run the ball well. They have 2 quarterbacks Villanova will have to keep an eye on. So this Hampton offense, a lot of different moving parts. This Villanova defense will have to be ready. So I think they can play good defense and limit this Hampton team into the low 20s, mid-20s. I think Villanova can have a very good chance to come out with a victory on Saturday. My second key to the game, I think, is to get off to a hot start. And, I've said this in the past couple of keys to the game videos, but I think it's very important because Villanova got off to a pretty decent start this past Saturday against New Hampshire in homecoming week, and they took a 7-3 lead at one point in that game. But for Villanova, they've gotten behind at some points this year, and they've struggled, especially because Villanova depends on their rushing attack to score points and get the offense going and set up Connor Watkins for those longer throws. So Villanova, settle into the game, get started early, especially because this game is on the road, and Villanova has not played as well on the road as they have at home. They've won 13 consecutive games at Villanova Stadium. They had a tough loss to Maine on the road. Of course, they lost to Maryland on the road, but that was, of course, a different beast, right? Maryland an FBS team, Villanova an FCS play. But for Villanova, get off to a hot start in Hampton, Virginia, make them nervous, especially Hampton coming into this game winning 2 straight games in CAA competition, one against NCAA and the other one against Elon. My third key to the game for Villanova, for the Wildcats, is find a balance between Isaiah Ragland and David Abbott. Get them both going in this game. Ragland had just 6 carries in the last game against New Hampshire, but Coach Fronte, talked about how Ragland, even though he didn't, specifically say that Ragland was on, a carry limit. I mean, he was returning from an ankle injury, a tough injury for a running back. He missed, 2 consecutive games prior to that, but he was out for really a total of almost a month when you look at game action with the bye week. So get Ragland some carries, get him going again. I think that will be big for the home stretch. And also, I mean, David Abbott has been so good this year for Villanova, around 550 rushing yards. And really, he's been a surprise for Villanova, but has done a fantastic job. And Abbott has really become a main player in this offense and this rushing attack. So then get Abbott, get Ragland going. I think that will really allow Watkins to settle into the game. I thought Connor looked much better at running the football last week after struggling at scrambling. And, Coach Fronte also talked about that in his post-game press conference after Saturday's win against New Hampshire, how Watkins was dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury as well, right? This happened about 3 weeks ago at Stony Brook, went into the medical tent, didn't miss a snap, but he's been dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury. Coach Fronte thought he ran better against New Hampshire, and I thought he did too. So getting everybody healthy again, I think that will really allow Villanova to, excel and succeed at a higher level, especially the offense, which has kind of been the main question mark for Villanova this season. So get Ragland, get Abbott going. That will set up Connor Watkins, especially Watkins looked also better in the passing game, especially with deep passes, had a 25-yard connection to Lucas Kopecki in that game, as well as a 19-yard pass to Devin Smith for the game-winning touchdown. So again, my 3 keys to the game for a Villanova victory. Number 1, defense. Can't stress enough. Defense, defense, defense. My second, key to the game is get off to a hot start in Hampton, Virginia. And my third key to the game is get Ragland and Avid both going in this game, and hopefully that will allow Watkins to settle back into the passing game and to connect with his wide receivers. I'm interested to see how many passes or targets that Lucas Kopecki gets. His volume has really been going up recently, so that'll be something to watch in this game as well. So Villanova, I think they win this game, score prediction-wise, 24-21 Villanova. I think it's fairly low scoring. I think that Villanova's defense will keep Hampton in the low 20s. If they do that, I like Villanova's chances, especially with their rushing attack. David Abbott, Isaiah Ragland, Jabril Mace, Isaiah Wright. Looking forward to it, Nova Nation, Saturday, 1 p.m., Villanova and Hampton in Virginia. Go Cats!